Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're listening to the podcast Capturing Magic. I'm Bill Rogers, the voice of Disney. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everyone, welcome to Capturing Magic. I'm Steph Clay. I am here today with Tanya Hickman, who can be found at everymagicmoment.com and Tanya H666 on social media. Hi, Tanya.
Hello.
We also have today Stephanie Haney, who can be found at haningmade.com, and her username on Instagram is haningmade. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello.
Thank you both for being here today.
Sure.
We are going to be talking about the walls of Disneyland today. Super exciting.
Yes.
It's not something that I was I've just seen it on social media. Is that how you guys found it on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So Stephanie, you approached me first about doing a show on the walls of Disneyland. Tell me how you discovered them.
Just watching Instagram, and I follow a lot of different Disney accounts, a lot of them that sell merchandise and stuff. And I was seeing a lot of references to the purple wall in Disney World. I think was one that really kind of first, these purple wall vibes. I was like, what is this? And then kind of followed that. And then there was something about a bubblegum wall, but it was all predominantly Disney World, which I have yet to visit. And so I started kind of looking and kind of fell down the rabbit hole of finding all the different ones in Disneyland. And probably the first one that was popping up a lot was the Small World, the decorations over near the Small World ride. And I guess it kind of goes to the details that they always have at Disneyland for even the most minute things. This is like a wall with basically a big door to the backstage area and a cast entrance. But it's still decorated and within the theme of the Small World ride. And so just kind of started going and looking into, well, they have all these things in Disney World, they must have them in Disneyland. And then kind of fell down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I would see pictures all the time of people in front of just like a solid color wall. And I'm like, why am one picture is fine, but all of a sudden I see like a ton of people in front of a blue wall.
I mean, it's super fun. And a lot of times when I see the photos, I wouldn't have guessed that they're at Disneyland. And I can't even place a lot of times where they are.
Some of them I had to that's when I started looking at the Google Maps and the Google Earth to be like, where is this?
Okay, so let's run down some of our favorite ones, and we are going to include a little guide, I guess, in the post for this show. So you can find it by going to capturingmagic.me, Walls of Disneyland, and there will be photos there because Tanya went on a photo scavenger hunt last time she was at Disneyland, right, Tanya?
Yes, be prepared for lots of photos of me in front of walls. Sorry, guys.
I'm so looking forward to your Instagram feed right now.
That's
so pulling it up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I think I posted on Instagram. I think I posted 3 of them. I think I have 3 of them that I actually posted. The rest of them I've been waiting.
Awesome. So everyone's going to get to see him. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Heather's not here. We're missing Heather today. I should say that she is on her way to Disney World. So
yeah.
Of course,
oh.
if somebody's not here, you know that they're at Disney. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
They're not here for a recording. They are at Disney. And I should have mentioned that. So I'm glad I kind of said, it's one of those Freudian slips. So it worked out well. Stephanie, tell us about your favorite walls.
So one of them that I saw somebody listed, and it's something that I've always loved taking a picture of, and it's the Sleeping Beauty water fountain. And it's on the back side of the Sleeping Beauty Castle, right across from the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And it's this water fountain, but it has this statue of Aurora and Prince Philip and the fairies floating around them when they're dancing on that last scene. And it's, I've always taken pictures of it, and it seems like an odd thing to take pictures of. but it has the brickwork of the castle behind it. And it's kind of, you can either take a photo where you have just the brickwork, or if you do it at a certain angle, you get the statue and you don't get the water fountain portion of it. And it's just one of those, it's off the beaten path. It's on the back side of the castle. And I've always loved it. And I've seen some people taking some really fun pictures around there.
The brickwork there is really pretty.
Yeah.
I like the colors.
It's really fun to play with. I've taken a picture of it and then, played with some filters. And if you really bump up the HDR and stuff, it can really make a vibrant photo and everything. So that's probably one of my favorites.
What about you, Tanya? Do you have a number one?
I'm looking at my photos right now. Let's see which photo. I'm gonna go with the Small World one at Disneyland. I like the way that photo turned out. But here's the thing about the Small World one. There's two places you could take this photo at, because on the map that Stephanie sent us, I think it was this portion of the wall. So if you're looking at It's a Small World, you can go to the right where the parade comes out.
Yeah.
You can take a picture on that wall over there. But if you look to the left, there's also a big Small World door next to, there's a popcorn cart or something there.
Next to the theater.
Yeah. And
I think that's actually the one next to the theater is actually
one on the
supposed
map,
to be
right?
The wall. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the one across from, I originally thought that where the parade came out was the wall.
Yeah. And I looked at it and I was like, well, I can. It does work. There are portions of it, but I'm like, I think this is the one over here. So that's the one I chose, mainly because the sun wouldn't be blaring on me.
Exactly.
So it was better lighting, but I really like that one because there's so many different places you could take a picture on that wall.
Yeah.
You can easily get 5 different looking photos on that wall.
And then the textures as well. And
yes.
the way that and the shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I took a picture in front of what are triangles, but I've seen pictures of people sitting inside little circle cut out, and there's been all kinds of different ones on that wall. But I would say you can have the most fun with that one.
And I've seen people also do, if they just got engaged, they'll put the buttons in the ring and birthdays and celebrations and stuff. So I've seen some really cute with the geometrics.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes me think, are there standard poses that people do in front of each of the different walls? Or is it anything goes?
That was... No, I don't. I don't think they're standard poses, but it was getting a little monotonous just standing there and smiling.
Right.
So I was trying to switch it up,
okay,
which ended up being a little ridiculous. But it almost got to the point where, because I did one where I'm holding my Starbucks, I did one where I'm holding my hair, and
I've also seen a lot of people showing off their ears if they have custom ears.
Yeah,
we'll hold up that one. And your Alex and Annie's.
Yes, that too. Yeah. So I was trying to do different things so it didn't look like I was just smiling. I mean, there are different things. I don't know. It was becoming a kind of an ongoing joke with my mom. She was just do something different. Just let me take another photo.
Yes.
But I see lots of people with drinks or just not standard, just standing there and smiling poses. Don't.
And I just pulled up the hashtag on Instagram to see kind of some difference. And then it's also if you get a close up or if you pull the camera back, how much of the wall you see with the geometrics and stuff behind you. Yeah. So that also as to what your focal point is going to be.
Yeah, that was another thing. I would have my mom take a photo. My poor mom.
That's what they're good.
I know, right?
That's good at that.
Thank you. Of the whole wall, but then for Instagram, I would want closer up shots. So I would have her do both. One, so you could see the whole wall, because for me on Instagram, I don't want to see anything but the wall. I don't want to see my feet. I don't want to see the ground. I don't want to see the tree over to the side. I want to see just that close up background behind me. So that's what I was having her having to coach her through some of those things.
And I see that there's one girl that did this awesome. So there's the circle where it looks almost like a big cookie cutter. And there's a girl who's sitting almost perfectly dead center in the circle. And so that the rest of that stucco is kind of a perfect frame around her.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm pulling up the hashtag right
I know, I was just doing it
And
too.
there is an Instagram account as well that's called Walls of Disney.
And then even each specific wall, some of them have an Instagram.
Yeah.
Right, I have seen that as well. Okay, so your next favorite wall.
From what I've seen pictures of, and this is going to be on my list to take photos next time I'm there, it's the Main Street station. There's trellises on either side, kind of as you come through the tunnels. Mm-hmm. And apparently one of them has a bench, so you could get like a seated group shot, or others were. And so all it is kind of a brick wall with ivy trellises crisscrossing, making kind of these neat diamond shapes behind it. And depending on the time of day, your lighting and shadows and stuff. So that to me looks kind of fun. And also it's one of those you would not know it's a Disneyland photo,
right?
Whereas like the Small World wall,
yeah,
it's got a vibe to it. Yeah. This is just a really nice kind of manicured look of architecture. I'll be putting that on my list.
I definitely took this picture. But my only issue with this picture is
the lighting.
Well, the lighting for one, and two, for me, I want to be up against the wall, and I had to stand in like the bushes.
Oh.
Not like really. I'm thinking vicariously. I'm like, I've walked by this a billion times, I'm sure.
Like, it's not really bushes, but like there's like a planter there, like that the actual bench is in front of. So if I sat on the bench, I would be like a good 2 feet, at least 3 feet from the wall. So I was like, nope, that's not going to do. So I crawled behind the thing and got in the thing. I was like, snap the picture.
So apparently one side has the bench and the other side doesn't.
The other side doesn't. Yeah. So I was already on that side and I was like, this is it. I guess I'm doing it here.
So funny.
The things I do.
You're a team player, man.
Taking one for the team.
There was a couple of them where I'm like, hi, small child, I need you to move. I need to take a picture in front of this wall.
I'm on a photo scavenger hunt. You'll understand one day.
Yeah.
So funny. Okay, your next one, Tanya.
Okay, my next one wasn't on the list. And I was walking by and I was like, this should be on the list because I'm pretty sure I've seen this picture before. Yeah, actually, I have seen this picture before. I'm looking at it right now. It's at the Art of Animation. And the one that was listed for there was the Happily Ever After wall, which is a good wall too. But on the outside, there's like a Stardust Wall that has Stardust.
I thought they were all it was all one because it all kind of merged.
Technically, it all does kind of merge, but this one's on the outside where the other one's on the inside.
Okay.
So, I mean, while it is one wall, like look at the Happily Ever After one. It doesn't have the same Stardust.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that.
It's not the same at all. But this one was a really good one. And I'm like super impressed with my mom's photo capabilities on this one.
Yeah, it looks super cute on your Instagram.
Yeah. So this was a good one. I really liked this wall because it had good lighting. And I have a close up and a far away one, and they both look good.
But also your height is like right at this trail.
Yeah. I'm 5'5". It's good, guys.
You're adorable, Tanya.
I purposely wore like the most basic Disney outfit I could wear for these photos too.
I know, I'm loving it.
Ears, I'm good.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It goes well with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Stephanie.
So this one I just want to check out just because I think it sounds so cool. So if you're heading down Main Street towards the castle, so the castle's in front of you, you're going to turn right on one of those little alleyways on Main Street. And in the back there near the locker rental is this brick wall that when you look at it, it's kind of a mishmash of brick styles. And apparently, from what I was able to glean, through some internet research, warning, not everything you read on the internet is true, is that apparently this was the test brick to determine how they wanted, when they were building Disneyland, how they wanted the brickwork to look throughout. So that's supposedly the story as to why it's kind of a mishmash, is to, kind of how you throw the paint samples up on the wall and decide which one you want.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you do
Right.
that.
That's how Disney does it.
So it's kind of a neat, it's got a little water fountain in there as well. So if you're thirsty, you can also, two birds, one stone. And so that would be great for some, portrait type photos. And it looks like the lighting, you might have some good shadowing and stuff. So you're not like in the bright sunlight with the squinty pictures.
I did not get this one. Was it on the list? Yeah, I think it was on the list. There was this one and then the one at Downtown Disney that I didn't get because I was too lazy to walk all the way down to Downtown Disney. So this one will be on my list for next time for sure. Now that I know it has a story. Dang.
For sure. You need that one.
It's that whole, the park where Walt walked kind of thing.
For sure. Tanya, your turn.
Let's see. My next one is going to be just the good old blue wall.
Yeah. This is kind of the one that started it all, right?
I think so.
At Disneyland.
It's in Small World.
Yeah, Disneyland. The Small World for sure one. Yeah. And this one, again, is like it's over at
it's in the most bizarre.
Yeah. It's in like the Hollywoodland area of DCA, like all the way up against the far end of the park where like the Mad Tea Party and stuff was. There's the soundstage there.
Yes.
And it's almost like they kind of have it blocked off now because it used to be like a smoking area back there, but now it's not because they moved that. And so it's just all like cast entrance and stuff now. So you kind of, depending on where you take the picture, are like kind of invading their cast area. Like, because they have some stuff set up. There used to be the chairs there that you could sit on and stuff, but they've taken those away. So it's just kind of a blank area. But you will not be the only person there taking this photo. Let me warn you of that now. There was at least 3 other people when I was there taking a photo in front of this wall, this sectional wall.
Yeah. And then kind of another, if that area is too crowded, I've also heard kind of off to the side of that is, at the end of Hollywood Street where they have kind of like the set street that fades off into the sunset. Uh-huh. There's areas of that sunset wall that you can get photos.
Yeah.
So like that whole backlot area is like just,
it's all walls.
It's all like perfect, if there's a line, go someplace else, move 5 feet. Yeah, you'll be okay.
Funny.
Yeah. And especially with with just the plain blue wall, you can get those close up or far away shots because you're not cutting out anything. It's just literally blue wall.
But it's very, the coloring is very flattering.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I like that one.
Okay.
Well, I love, and it's one of those things you walk by it all the time, but Boo's Door at the Monsters Inc. ride. And so it's a giant replica of Boo's Door. So you can stand and take some really cute photos there.
It has the flowers and stuff on it. It's really cute.
Yeah.
Super cute.
And it's pink.
Yeah. It's pink.
What isn't to love?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Mint and Julep Bar.
Yes.
When you're at the Mint and Julep Bar in New Orleans Square, there's a wall that has it's painted Mint and Julep Bar. It says Mint and Julep Bar. You can't miss it, guys.
Oh no, you found it.
Yeah. And this is a good one, obviously, to take a picture with your mint julep or beignet. Well, I wouldn't recommend the beignets because you're just going to end up a mess if you try to hold it while taking this photo. But like the new mint juleps, take a photo in front of the sign with it. That's what I did.
Oh yeah, perfect. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie.
I love the mural at Radiator Springs. So let me give you to be able to visualize where we are here. So when you're in Cars Land and you're looking at kind of heading right toward Radiator Racers. So Radiator Racers is to the right. To the left of that is kind of a little seating area. And it has this mural painted onto the side of that building that says, "Welcome to Radiator Springs." And Radiator Springs, a happy place, and it's got these fun little cars painted there. And so you could, again, it's one of those great for far away, and you can get the whole mural, or go close up and you'll have just kind of a fun painted background behind you, and very vintagey, retro looking of Radiator Springs, and be a great place to get like portraits or some selfies or family pictures.
For sure.
And then the lighting is, because it's kind of a shaded area, so you'll have some good lighting.
This one was a bit difficult because there was like a family was using it as like a child switch area.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, my poor mom couldn't get back far enough. So like I got the picture but it's a close up picture, but yeah, you're going to have to play with angles on this one. Like I've seen people take it from an angle and it looks really good and you can get more of the painting in it because it was really hard for her to get like a straight on photo here because there was like, we just were there at a bad time where there was a lot of people waiting in that area.
And then another tip for, because you can't use a selfie stick in the parks anymore.
Right.
I actually did this the other day at the pumpkin patch because I didn't have my selfie stick, but I have a QX lens and a husband with long arms. So he held the lens and then I had my phone down beside me. And so kind of like, okay, everybody look up that and then, figured out where the shutter button was on my phone to hit it. An improvised selfie person.
And there's also a timer on the QX lenses. There's a timer
so that you can help you get a better angle when.
Yeah, and I use the GorillaPod. Like Tanya's one that told me about the GorillaPod that's magnetic. And so I can stand it almost anywhere or set it almost anywhere and I don't have to worry about someone picking it up because it's not easy to pick up. It's, I'll put it on the top of a garbage can or something.
Yeah, it sticks like good.
Yeah.
It sticks really good.
Yeah.
There's times I'll be able to grab it and walk away and it pulls my arm back.
Yes.
It'll slow them down at least.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Exactly. Okay. Where were we?
Me next.
Thank you.
In DCA, there's the mosaic wall. So like by the smoothies, like where you can get the smoothies in Hollywood.
The ceramic pieces.
The ceramic pieces, yeah. And it's 2 full walls. So when I got there, I was like, oh, I'll take one here, but the sun was like right in my face, and I was just like, oh my god, just take the photo. I'm melting. And so we did. And I was like, that's fine. It'll do. And then we went on a couple things. And then I came back around probably from taking the blue wall photo where Mad Tea Party used to be like near the Muppet Theater. And that whole side is also that wall in the shade. So it's like 2 whole and it's completely unique on both sides. So you can like seriously take a picture, scoot down 4 feet and you have a totally different background with different colors. You can go for days on that wall.
For sure.
Yeah, you can take lots of different. I took the photo sitting down. I think I could have done it standing up too, but I wanted to be like right up against the wall. So actually, in my photo, it's like the bottom like quarter of it is just like brick bench that looks just like brick wall, and then then the top 3 quarters is the mosaic. So it actually looks like it's not just all mosaic; it's broken up a little bit. It looks kind of cool.
And is this also the one with the arch?
Yes.
It's built into an arch because apparently if one person is at one side and the other person is at the other, if you whisper, you can hear each other because of the architecture.
Oh, really?
Who knew?
Let me give you just really random.
Okay, I think we're on Stephanie.
So being the San Francisco girl, the Painted Ladies. Gotta love the Painted Ladies. They're based on the row of Victorian houses in San Francisco that are called the Painted Ladies. And so it's one of the little streets. I think that you walk from like where Grizzly River Run is towards Paradise Pier. That row has a bunch of different Victorian houses and doors. And so, yeah, you have all different types of little front stoops to take pictures on.
So cute.
And you can, they're all different colors, so you can color coordinate.
Yeah, that's true.
You can choose.
And there's a bathroom right there, so send some people to the bathroom and be like, I'm taking photos, bye. That's right next to the bathroom.
All good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tanya, as you were running around getting these photos, how long did it take you?
Oh, not long. I mean, I did like 1 lap around the park, just like we do when me and my mom go. So I did 1 lap around the park and just hit them as I went. Like I didn't have to go out of the way for any of them.
Okay. So you just did your normal thing and just remembered to stop and take the photos as you were going.
Yeah. I'd be walking. I'd be like, oh, that's a wall. I need to go over there. I'd be like, oh, that's a wall over there. I'll go over there. Yeah. I was just, we were there. So I didn't have to go out of the way for any of them.
Perfect. Okay. I think it's your turn.
Yes. Right? I'm going to go with the newest Disney wall, which is the new Big Thunder walkway.
That looks so cool.
Yes. The walkway is super cool. And this wall has now become such a thing that there's actually a photo pass in front of it. So they have their own photo pass. You can, like, a lot of the time you can find your own photo pass there. So, and it's a good chunk of wall too. I mean, I had seen it when it first opened, and then I didn't think anything of it, and then it became like a wall thing, and I was like, now I have to go back and take a picture in front of it. So, yeah, the walkway from Fantasyland to Big Thunder reopened after some construction, and it now has this huge, like, it almost looks like a wave of rock with like lanterns underneath it and stuff. It's really pretty. I really, really like this. The wall, the coloring's really good, and you're pretty much always in the shade because of the way it arches, and it's a good one. And it's a lot of wall.
Yeah.
And it just looks like Big Thunder brickwork. Not brickwork, rock work.
Okay, yeah.
That is so awesome that they have a photo pass.
I know. So awesome.
It's a matter of time before they have in front of all of them.
Yeah. So, Tanya, how did you remember? See, I'm going to throw some tips in here for people too. How did you remember? Because here's my thing. I went to Disneyland not too long ago, just a couple of weeks ago. How do you remember to stop? Like, you make your list, but I could have a list. I don't remember to stop.
Because I don't have kids?
Maybe that's it. You don't have
that would do it.
It's just you and your mom.
Yeah, it was just me and my mom, and literally that was our purpose that day. Like, that was our mission. Like, we had nothing else, like, besides maybe you need to pick up a new Christmas ornament, like stuff like that. Like, we had no mission for that day. We weren't like, we have to go on this, we have to do this. No, I was like, we're here to get the walls. We're here to mosey, get some lunch. Like, that's why we were there.
Okay.
So yeah, if I was there with like a bunch of people and we were running around trying to do stuff, I would not have remembered either.
Yeah, that's my thing. Cause I have rides that I want to ride, and I have stuff I want to eat, and I have, and then cause I only had one day at the beginning of October. I only had one day in the parks. These people that only go to Disney for one day and think that that's enough, I don't get it. I've never been able to get it, but now that I did it, I'm like, I really don't get it.
Yeah, no, it's really hard. I had that trip. I was there 2 weeks, but I did 4 days in the park, not even in a row, just like 4 sporadic days. So I was able to like get the stuff done that I needed to get done so that I could have this one day to just do this.
That's good.
Yeah. I
need to have a work trip where I'm just doing photos.
I'm guessing work is in quotes there.
That's true. Okay, whose turn is it? I'm so sorry that I can't keep track of this, and like
no worries.
I'm so easily confused. It's really sad.
I really like the posters on Paradise Pier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have all different types, that old vintage boardwalk. So depending on, your mood, what you're wearing, you want to color coordinate. There's just some great backdrops.
Yeah, there's 4 different ones, so you have 4 to choose from.
Yeah, and then again, is it up close? Is it far away?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the fun part, is that to use them as kind of a prop or an accent.
Yeah, because zoomed in or cropped or whatever, I mean, you get a totally different look.
Yeah, I didn't. These ones, my mom was shopping at the time, so I just went and took photos of them instead of me with them. And I'm looking at, there's one right now, the one that has the swings and the golden zephyr on it, and it says soar at the top, but then it says at the shore at the bottom. And that one would be really cute if you cropped it so it was just like you at the shore. That one would be really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those ones. I'm going to have to go back.
I know. That's the truth. I'll just have to go back, huh? Okay, Tanya.
I found one that wasn't on the list. So I'm going to go with Ariel's Grotto.
Ooh.
In DCA. If you walk past the entrance to Ariel's Grotto, but before you get to Cove Bar, there's like a little archway alcove seat that people usually are sitting on waiting to like get into Cove Bar or get into Ariel's Grotto, but there was nobody there. And in that alcove, it's probably like 3 or 4 feet deep that you could sit there, hop up in there. And the wall behind you is under the sea stuff with an outline of Ariel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I just hopped up in there and sat there and had my mom take my photo. So it's just, I should have sat to the side now that I'm looking at it because I'm kind of blocking Ariel. But yeah, and it has, if the full shot, it says Ariel's Grotto and stuff up at the top. But that was definitely perfect to like shove your kids in there and take a photo of a bunch of them because they can't really go anywhere. They're just in there. And they're going to love it because it's like high up enough that they think they're like getting away with something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie.
Kind of the tiki wall across from the tiki room. And so again, that's another one where there's so much variety of the different emblems and things that depending on your height, depending on if you're close up or far away, all sorts of just fun backgrounds.
This was another one that I didn't take a photo of because I already have a photo with that wall of me and Heather. We had our favorite PhotoPass photographer dragged us over there one time, and in front of that wall with like fake snake props and stuff, and like, so I have a really funny photo of us with like rubber snakes in front of that wall that I'm going to use for that I'll send you. Like,
Funny.
It was really funny. He's a kooky dude.
Funny.
Let's see, I have a couple.
Do you have a couple more you want to share? Go for it.
I have a couple. One is the beads in Cars Land.
Oh, the groovy.
Yeah, the little groovy beads. I mean, the wall behind. Okay, I'm pretty sure when this first opened that the whole thing was beads. Now it's only like one small section. Because I have a picture of me and Heather there. Her first time in Cars Land, where we're both standing there between the beads, and now there's only enough for like one person.
Yeah, I saw someone was commenting on their Instagram that they were comparing like what it looked like when they had first done it to now, and they were saying that it's like really diminished.
Yeah, It's definitely diminished. So now when you take that picture, it still looks good, but you have like those utility doors behind you in that section. So without the extra beads, like you can really tell. You can really see those doors. But I mean, it still looks good. The colors are still pretty. The beads, there's enough beads there for a person. So you can get a one-person photo for sure.
For sure. They're fun too. So fun.
Yeah, they are fun. Again, that was the one I had to kick some kids out of.
Because they like to play in them.
They do. They like to play in them. And I'm like standing there, and I didn't say anything. I'm just kind of standing there, and I looked at their parents, and they're like, "Oh God, okay, you guys come over here." I was like, "I'm so sorry."
2 seconds, and then you can go back.
Big photo, I swear. I looked at the kids. I'm like, "You're good. You're good. Go back."
That's so funny. You know, sometimes because they had those when DCA first opened, and then there was a while where they didn't have them. They were gone.
Yeah, I think they inked and
yeah,
they get broken.
Yeah,
sure.
they do. And then they brought. Yeah, I noticed this time they're back again. So it's fun.
Yeah. The Cheshire Cat Wall.
Oh yeah.
This one is another one where I think it would be a lot cooler if you were taller.
Because that's also another one where it's like you have a lot of choices based on what.
Yeah, the wall itself is really cool, but if you want the Cheshire Cat in the photo, you're going to have to go kind of wide with it because he's up kind of high. But the wall itself is actually really pretty now that I'm looking at it.
And then if you go down one side, you have the big leaves.
Yeah.
And then even further down, you have the statue of the White Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
The detail they put into this thing that, for the most part, people walk by.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would never really think to stop there. I'm really surprised they don't do character interactions there more often. I know I've seen them, but more often.
Yeah,
a regular
open area. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's because it's usually so crowded with people waiting for the restrooms.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which line am I in now?
Yeah.
And then there's two more quick walls that I had in Cars Land. I because I was actually looking for walls now, I see a lot of them,
right,
where I didn't before. So there's, I think this one was over by, Maters. I want to say on the way to Maters, in between Maters and whatever is next to Maters that I can't think of. Whatever, it's on a brick wall right there. But it just says, it's pointing you to the Radiator Springs Drive-In Theater. And it's literally just a brick wall with that painted on it. And it says now playing at the Radiator Springs Drive-In Theater. So that one was good. And then over by Radiator Springs Racers, between Racers and Ramones, there's another brick wall. There's lots of stuff painted on their brick walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in there. And there's another thing, another wall with it has a painting with, and it's the oil pan, good to the last drop, and it has an arrow and it says drop on in. That's a good one too.
And then also in Radiator Springs, what I noticed, the big sign that says here it is with the tractors, or the old cars on it.
Yeah.
And then also when you're in line for Mater, because we love cars here, all of those signs and things in the back are all from the shorts, Mater's cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
So the El Matador and all of those, are all things from, because we've seen that a lot in our house. So when we were in line, we're like, hey, we know these.
Yes. There was one on the list, the Tippin Wall.
Yeah.
Over at Mission Breakout. That one was a bit of a hassle. First of all, if you get a fast pass, you're not going to see it because you have to be in the actual line. It's in the actual line, and it's you can't get to that wall.
Gotcha.
You can't get to it. I took a picture of it, and if I was waiting in a long line and I was stuck right there, you could probably figure out a way to get it in the background. But yeah, there was no way to get up against that wall because it's in a blocked off planter for sure. But that being said, I'm sure you can manage some sort of wall that looks very Guardians of the Galaxy because there's stuff.
I think that whole area, there's stuff.
That whole area is full of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
The White Rabbit's house, the door to the White Rabbit's house in Disneyland.
That's good if you have for little ones.
Yeah, I was not about to crouch my way down there.
If you weren't, imagine someone like me.
I was like,
years ago, we were there with friends of ours, and they had all gotten ears with their names on it, and we took a photo of them because they had just got them at the Mad Hatter.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took a picture of them, and they're all crouched down. It was mom, dad, and two kids, and they it was to see the names on the back of their hats. That's the background.
Crouching down with some kids to block you, that's good. You can do that. Yeah. But yeah, no, I wasn't going to do it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's all I have on.
What about you, Stephanie? Did you have others you wanted to talk about?
I think the only one that we didn't hit that I have found is the orange bird wall.
Oh yeah. The one I was too lazy to go get.
It's not, it was one of these when I was reading on a couple of blogs, I'm like, seriously? How do you It is the wall on the Lego store in downtown Disney leading to the restroom. The top part is yellow and the bottom part is orange.
Yep.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's become increasingly popular now because it's literally right next to the Starbucks now. So I'm sure people take drink photos there and stuff all the time.
Fun.
You gotta love the details.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I love about this is that it does make me look at the details more than there are a lot of details that I notice, but there are some that I miss because there are so many. It's easy to miss some.
Mm-hmm. Until somebody else snags that photo first and you're like, dang it, I saw that.
Yeah, it's just, I've always, that's probably my favorite thing about Disney is that the detail that's put into the things that 90% of the people are just going to walk on by.
Yeah.
Just that level of craftsmanship is so meticulous. It always blows me away. The area, I always point out the area behind Thunder Mountain when you're walking from Thunder Mountain to Fantasyland, and it's back behind, and it's this stack of crates and lanterns and part of a mine car, and it's totally hidden in the back of this attraction. And people are just walking past it, but yet they've put the detail in having all of this themed with the ride all the way down to the very, very back. They could have just painted it, the same orange rock and let it go. But no, it's this amazing detail in architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard when you're there for, one day to take in all that stuff. I've gotten really lucky going as much as I have that I can do that. I can take it all in. I can sit there. There'll be times, especially on hot days, where I'll just sit there and I'll just sit and I'll just look. You think I'm people watching, but no, I'm photo watching.
Yeah,
I'm looking for those sort of things, just lanterns. Just the different lights in each land. People don't notice those sort of things sometimes.
Or even how the trash cans for each land are specific to the design. Yeah. And it just. so incredible. Like probably one of my favorite times. It was before we had our son, and we were in Disneyland. I was at a conference, and I went in after the conference in the evening, and I was by myself for about an hour, and I just wandered around and took photos, like through Toontown, and like one of the buildings. It was the planning commission, and the visual gag is that they didn't plot the letters right, so the planning commission sign is kind of like all askew because they didn't plan. So, you just see, and, just all the different sight gags and stuff through Toontown. And it was so much fun just to be able to like have the time and not feel rushed to be like, I need to go here. I need to go here.
Yeah.
Yes, that is fun. That's just a day to be able to go and, like Tanya did, just do photos. So fun.
Yeah. If I find it necessary every now and then.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Okay. I think that's it, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. Let's remind our listeners where they can find us. Tanya, go ahead.
You can find me at everymagicmoment.com and Tanya H666 on all social media.
And Stephanie?
You can find me at Haney, and that's haningmade.com, and Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram all have Haney.
Perfect. And you can find me at capturingmagic.me and also on Modern Photo Solutions. I'm Steph Clay, by the way. And I think that's where you can find me. That's usually where I'm hanging out, either here or there or Disney. So all good places. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending part of your day with us and listening. We really appreciate that. We would love to have you connect with us on social media. And we would also love to have you leave a review for us in iTunes. It would be great to get some more current, up-to-date reviews in there. And what else? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all my calls to action for today. If you're not on the newsletter list, go sign up for that because you get a free printable autograph book. So you can just go to capturingmagic.me, and then on the menu, click on autograph book or free printable, something like that. Or free autograph book, I think it's a free autograph book.
Just look for free.
Look for free.
Just wander around until you find something you like.
Just click around. You'll find it eventually. All right. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next time on Capturing Magic.